Little
Chit,
chitty
chit,
chit
chit, chit,
chat.
chat, 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 chitty, chat, chat, chitty, chat, chat,
You know what I haven't
chat,
watched in a
chat,
long time? Chitty chitty
chitty,
bang
chitty, bang,
bang.
bang.
Chitty chitty bang bang.
Yeah, it's been a couple decades.
Yeah.
It's been a couple. Yeah.
Hey Zeus, have you ever watched Chitty Chitty Bang Bang? Oh, even Jesus has
He said,
watched
yeah?
it. Yeah, years ago.
Oh, okay. All right. All right.
Here or
All
when
right
you
then.
are back in Spain? In Spain. Ooh. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang on
I'm
Espanol.
surprised. I'm really surprised. Okay.
Let's go for it.
Snowdy bitty goody.
Oh, we've been doing this for too long today. All right.
But you know what? We are just about done.
I
Hey
know, it feels
folks.
good.
Welcome to
Hello,
TBR
folks.
Lowdown.
How are you?
Don't mind us on this Good Friday.
Literally.
Just a little loopy. So anyway, what's going on? What are you reading? What's going on in that library of yours over there?
My little library.
Yeah, your very, very tiny library.
I mean, square footage, it is kind of tiny, but
No, I'm talking about, okay, she's got a massive amount of books. If you don't know,
I
we
don't know what you're
post
talking
the
about.
video version of this podcast on our YouTube channel at TBR Lowdown.
I have,
Check it out.
I have,
A massive amount of books, and I love to see it.
I have the appropriate amount of books for somebody who is like me.
Massive amount of books, and I love to see it. I think how many books anyone has is appropriate. I don't believe in an inappropriate amount of books.
I think no books would be an inappropriate amount of books, but that's just me. Anyway, what am I reading?
Yeah, what are you
I
reading?
started this thing. I started Infinite Jest this week. It is time. I feel like I've put in a decent amount of time. I'm only here.
Okay.
So here's the rub with Infinite Jest.
Oh boy.
There's a lot of flipping back and forth between the front and the back
Oh really?
because the thing is filled with footnotes. And the footnotes
Oh.
are integral to the plot. So
Oh
you
crap.
spend so much time going like this, and because the audiobook people suck, they didn't integrate it in to the audiobook. So they'll
Like they
just
do
go
with the
with
Kristoff Nevernights
yeah,
trilogy.
or many other books where they just
Yeah.
stick it in there. No, they didn't do that.
Oh man.
They just go 3, and that's
Oh
supposed to alert
man.
you that you can pause and go read it in your book.
Okay, that's a
So,
piss poor job
so,
on that.
so, it, okay, so fine. But that means that even though I've only read like 80 pages this
Of the
way, but
chapters,
like I've
yeah.
read maybe I don't know how many pages going this way back
Right.
because you know there's all these like I've read like this many footnotes, so it's just physically reading very difficult because you're constantly like
Yeah.
stopping and flipping and stopping and flipping, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
However, so far the story itself is fine.
Okay.
There are so many characters in this um that it's hard for me. I don't even think I'm caring to like keep everybody straight
Mhm.
um exactly, and just trying to like just you know enjoy the ride, I guess. But I
Yeah, for
just
sure.
finished this section on somebody named like Kate G, and she is in like a psych facility because she attempted to unalive herself, and it's just this really interesting discussion between her and this like psychiatric resident on mental illness. And
Mhm.
David Foster Wallace, unalived himself, definitely
Yeah.
had like his own messed up things going on in his
Mhm.
brain. He was a troubled guy. Messed up. I'm not saying that to be like negative, just like it was messy. Um,
Yeah.
and so I think I'm wondering to the people that are like DFW like
Yeah.
stans, is this somewhat like autobiographical at points? Like, are how much is like autofiction? Obviously, the whole story is not autofiction, but
Yeah.
like the pieces, are there like vignettes in here that are a bit of autofiction?
Hmm.
I'm curious about that. I'm also curious about a lot of like the drug use. Like so far in the
Mhm.
first 80 pages, there's a lot of drug references. A lot of the
Mm.
footnotes are in reference to drugs and like the
Okay.
way that different drugs are called in this
Oh.
story. Everything from like
Yeah.
anti-anxiety meds to like recreational drugs.
Mhm.
And so it's interesting. I don't dislike it. It's definitely easier to read than Gravity's Rainbow.
Okay.
Um, it's just I think it's going to take a while to get. It's going to take more than 80
Yeah.
pages to get into this behemoth and really feel like I have a kind of grasp on it. Um, but I mean, it is very maximalist postmodern writing. I think at some point he called something like an unfenestrated oval room, and you're like, you couldn't just say a windowless room.
No, he couldn't.
No, it's an unfenestrated room. And you're like,
He could
okay,
not.
all right. So it
Yeah.
is very maximalist, and I think that um, command of language from some summaries and reviews I've watched of the book is part of the story. Like it is a character
Mhm.
trait. It is part of it has a role to play as well. And this is not just being this like incredibly
Okay.
I don't know, this person who knows like all the words of everything. So
Right, right.
it's
Well,
interesting. We'll see.
maybe I started next week. I mean, I've had it on my shows for a long
I've
time.
been reading it for a while, Naomi. So
Yeah.
I did try to get through Gravity's Rainbow in about a month. I have
Mhm.
no we will get there
Yeah. Yeah.
whenever it's
I
finished.
I'm gonna start it. I'm gonna start it so that way, if I need to talk about it, I can talk about it with you, and I can
Yeah.
ask questions, and I don't know. Yeah, go through the whole thing.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, and I just want to say like I one more thing and then I'll let you tell me what you've been reading. But with that section I just finished with the lady who did try to unalive herself, they keep talking to her, the resident, about how like why did you want to hurt yourself? Why do you want to hurt yourself?
Mhm.
And she's trying to explain this like she doesn't want to hurt herself. Like I don't know what you're getting at. Like I just I would like to like be in a coma. I would like my year of rest and relaxation kind of like she's like she finally she says very straight up, she says, "Do you understand? I'm not it's not wanting to hurt myself, it's wanting to not hurt." And I think that that is such an important distinction on people that are like just they are hurting so much mentally that like
Yes.
sometimes that relief is not because like you want to harm yourself. There are people who want to harm themselves. That's another
Right, but
discussion. There's people who like want
yeah,
things to stop hurting. So
and
how
that's
do
what a lot
you
of people
do
say.
that? So there's lots of ways that people do that
Yeah.
to numb themselves, to do whatever, and sometimes it
Mhm.
manifests itself into this really uh, sort of
Yep,
no going back kind of thing, like unaliving
for
yourself. So
sure.
a really interesting discussion there, and I'm hoping there are more discussions about that stuff sprinkled in throughout because I think I always love a good discussion on
Yeah.
mental health. Um,
Yes.
so yeah,
Well, okay, I'm gonna start it next week then.
yeah.
I'm
So
gonna
we can
start it next
talk
week
about it.
because I do because after that because I have Infinite Jest and I have the Pale King, and I really want to read that at some point. If I can get through both this year, that'd be great.
I mean,
Uh,
it can be really funny. I mean, the years in this are not like 2055. It's like
yeah.
the year of the Depends underpants. Like his time
Mhm.
has been sponsored by corporations. So there is this there's some like tongue-in-cheek funny stuff going on,
Yeah.
and there's like a kind of reality bites 90s flair to it, which makes sense.
Nice.
That I
Yeah.
kind of dig, and I think if you grew up through any of that, you might notice the little bits of like
Yeah.
90s edge, like that
Yeah. For
that
sure.
goes into the
I
writing. So
watched this pretty long interview with him from way back. I wonder if I can find it again and send that to you. It was really interesting.
yeah.
So I'll look for that again and share that with you.
Yeah.
All right, we're on a mission. We're on a mission.
These are the things Lit Bro gets me into, man. He just gets me into
I
all
like it.
kinds of stuff. Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
I'm slowly developing a
Is
split
there a lit bro
personality.
schedule? Is there a lit bro reading schedule?
No, but Lit Bro has a few things up his sleeve for
I
reading.
like it.
So,
I think it's fun.
yeah. That I
I
have a
think it's
split
fun.
personality on my channel now.
Yes. Yes. With props. I mean, I'm into it. I'm
Yeah.
into it.
I showed pictures to my dad and my stepmom while they were up here of because every time I
Right.
get dressed for Lit Bro, I send it to my brother because I look like my brother with hair, and he's like, please stop looking like me. And I finally showed my dad and my stepmom, and they were like dying. They're like, this is eerie. Like you look just like him. I'm like, yeah.
It's so funny.
I mean, we are siblings, so we should. But it's
I
like
was
I
like,
don't think
hello.
that if you put James in a dress that he would look like me. But if you put me in a beard, I look like him. Which I
Exactly.
don't know
A
what that
beard
says
and a
about
blazer.
me, but
Well, I love the whole thing you got going on there. Like I'm totally into it. So I think it's a lot of fun and it is highly entertaining.
he's getting me into some trouble, man. Yeah.
I'm here for it. So all right.
What are you reading?
I started another arc from Doubleday. This is The Wager, A Tale of Shipwreck, Mutiny, and Murder by David Gran.
I finally asked for that in the last round because you
I'm
talked
glad you
about it.
did. Yeah, I'm very early on.
They'll
This
probably
comes
say
out.
no.
They probably won't. They'll say yes. This
I don't
comes.
know. I
I'm so
asked for
confident about that, aren't I? I'm so
you are.
confident.
I asked for
I'm
curse
like, they'll
bread
say
for the
yes.
third time, and now I'm like, I don't want curse bread. But watch, I'll get it now. I've asked three
And
times
probably
for
the
curse bread.
final copy too. A nice
Yeah.
hardcover front. Yeah. So this comes out April 18th. And so it says on January 28th, 1742, a ramshackle vessel of patched together wood and cloth washed up on the coast of Brazil. Inside were 30 emaciated men, barely alive, and they had an extraordinary tale to tell. They were survivors of His Majesty's ship, the Wager, a British vessel that had left England in 1740 on a secret mission during an imperial war with Spain. While the Wager had been chasing a Spanish treasure-filled galleon known as the Prize of All the Oceans, it had wrecked on a desolate island off the coast of Patagonia. The men, after being marooned for months and facing starvation, built the flimsy craft and sailed for more than 100 days, traveling 2,500 miles of storm-wrecked seas. They were greeted as heroes. And then it goes on and on. And I'm only 20 pages in. But so far, I'm into it. It's exciting. It's also, you can already see how, you know, people are taking things from other people's land and countries and all that stuff. So we're already right into that. But I like David Gran. I have read The Killers of the Flower Moon, which was fantastic. Highly recommend that. So I have no doubt that this will also be an amazing read. So that is The Wager, A Tale of Shipwreck, Mutiny, and Murder um, by David Gran, out from Doubleday on April 18th.
Yeah. I'm curious about it now. I don't think I really paid much
Mm-hmm.
attention to it because I was like, what? And then you've talked about it a couple times and you've showed it off and I'm like, fine, it sounds good.
You know what it is? It's because after reading Killers of the Flower Moon, what if I see David Gran, I'm getting whatever he's writing.
Yeah.
That's just what that is. He's incredible. So it's going to be very interesting too to see how they adapt Killers of the Flower Moon. Um, I'm not sure if it's in the works, like in production now, but like that's going to be happening. So I'm excited about that to see how they play that out because that story is a whole trip. So
Well,
there we have it. There we have it.
there you have it. So we're just here to chit chat today. We
Yeah.
haven't had a good old chit chat
I know, right? It's been a minute. We like to catch up with each other on things and share stuff with y'all, and we got a lot going on
in a while.
right now. So yeah,
There,
we're in flux with a lot of things, and
yeah, I want
there'll
to.
be some changes.
Yeah, so we're both going through some large life things.
Yeah, nothing bad. It's all
No,
good. So
everything's
let me just put that
good.
out there. Everything's great, actually.
But they do change some things
Yeah.
in terms of logistics with us, and
Mhm.
hopefully nothing to do with the podcast. We've been
Mhm.
trying to build in buffer time here, so there's
Yes.
going to be a few weeks where you guys get some rebroadcasting of episodes
Mhm.
to give us some time. But basically, Naomi is moving house,
Mhm.
and I'm starting a new job that is going to be very demanding and
Yeah.
exciting, and hopefully I don't stink at it.
She'll be
But
great.
but I've been told the healthy amount of anxiety is good. Um, so yeah, so we're just
Yeah.
trying to build ourselves some time to get our own footing so that we can adjust our schedules
Yeah.
and our lives as they're going to be to being able to continue to give you guys episodes because we really love doing the podcast. So like we're not going
We
anywhere. It's
do.
not that kind of stuff. Uh, as of right now, we're not anticipating any changes to anything that you guys would see. So we're just, you know,
Yeah. So I think as it
working.
stands now, I believe the month of June, we will rebroadcast an episode every week in June,
Hmm.
and then in July we have our annual summer vacation, and
Hmm.
that is when we will have no episodes because we're on vacation,
Hmm.
and then we return for the new season on our podcast launch anniversary, which is August 9th.
Hmm.
And so that is the schedule. So,
Yeah.
but we'll be around on Instagram and all that good
We'll be
stuff.
in our
And
Discord
yeah, and our Discord,
talking
of
to our
course, which we're loving.
patrons. If you're not a
Yeah.
patron and you'd like to support the channel, you can head over to our
Yeah.
Patreon. We're reading. So basically, if you don't understand how all the reading schedules work with us, we have six sort of public group reads that we do over
Mhm.
a 2 month period. So we start in January. We'll talk about it basically at the beginning of March.
Mhm.
And so that's kind of how that goes. Uh,
And you can
and
check
then
that out on
mhm.
tbrlowdown.com. Everything's there.
Yeah, so every other month we start a new book, and then the other months, every other month we'll start a new book with the Patreon. So we're kind of always reading every month somewhere with somebody, but on the
Mhm.
Patreon you get your own special buddy read with us. So I don't know if we've decided to do anything extra special there yet, but everything's still growing and evolving. So I don't know if we'll
Right.
do like members only lives or anything like that, but
Right.
we'll figure it out as we're going
Yeah, we figure
along
it
and
out.
as the
Yeah.
Discord grows, hopefully, and the Patreon grows,
Mhm.
and make it a nice little community where people can give their feedback and do
Yeah.
stuff and all that.
Yeah. I would say we have a nice growing group over there. It's a lot of
Hmm.
fun. We have a lot of nice conversations, and I'm having a good time with our Discord and Patreon members. So join us. You can go to tbrlowdown.com. There is a link on our website to join the Discord and to join the Patreon. So, and to also check out our reading schedule and just kind of be in the loop with all the things we have going on. So tbrlowdown.com is where you can always get all the information about everything we have going on.
Yeah, and I'm excited because we're also reading the International Booker, but over a course of a year, so that
Mhm.
we can read them all. Because one of the things that we do focus on a lot over here, I know sometimes it can feel like we don't because we talk about so many things, but one of our biggest
Mhm.
focus is to like continually remind everybody to read translated lit and how
Mhm.
important it is to read translated lit. Hopefully, Artina, I don't know where this is going out in terms of order, but hopefully,
Yeah.
Artina Cover um, interview has stressed the importance of reading translated lit to you guys.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have that year long, you know, just
Right. And
read along.
and that is a whole Discord member participation
Yeah, that's everybody. That's
thing.
not
Yeah.
special
So,
to anything. It was just it
mhm.
seemed like people wanted to read the long list, and it's overwhelming to try
And
to read the long list in like
yes.
the 4 or so week period between long list
Mhm.
and short list. And there are people who do it, in one of my other discords, everybody's kind of going buck wild over there. And
Yeah.
I can't. It's overwhelming. I have too many other things I want to read. I've read
Yeah.
I think I've read three of the long list so far as of recording,
Mhm.
and I'll probably be off schedule a little bit from hours just because I'll
Yeah.
throw things in where I can. Also to make sure that I'm on schedule when we're talking about things. Try to like,
Exactly.
but yeah, it's just nice. there were a lot of
Hmm.
people that were like, I really would like to, but, and it's like, you know what? We're going to take a
Right.
page out of Dee Dee reads this book, and we're going to do this as a year-long
Yeah,
thing, and give people the opportunity to read all of them,
exactly.
some of them, whatever it is they want, and like
Whatever they want.
less pressure. Yeah.
Whatever they want, and have some community to
Hmm.
read along with and discuss those books
Yeah.
with, and that's nice too.
Yeah.
I know, because last year I really did it differently. Like, I got all the books
Hmm.
that were already out, and then I was like going at a pretty fast pace reading them. But this year I just can't do that because I have a lot of publisher mail that I really want to get to
Yeah. There's so many
before those
other
pub
things.
dates. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I feel like I had plans in my head for what I wanted to read in April specifically. And
Mhm.
then, um, like the trans rights readathon started, that week long readathon. So that
Mhm.
like derailed March a little bit in a great way, like not in a bad way at all.
Yeah.
And then they announced, Trans Girl April. And I was like, oh my God, yeah. Like, um, there were so many books that I have been wanting to read that
Mhm.
in general, but there were so many like books written by either trans or non-binary people that I wanted to read
Yeah.
that I, was sprinkling in, obviously, but like it wasn't things, it's just so hard to get everything in. Like I have these really long
I
wish
know, it's
lists of
so
books all over
hard.
the place. And it's like, you know what? No, this is the perfect
Yeah.
opportunity to just condense a whole like stack and just read them. And then I started like listing out all the ones because I did that TBR video and I was like, I was
Mhm.
gonna talk about all the ones I've already read, and then I was like, no, this is getting too long. And it's like to realize how many I've already read and how exciting that was, how many different authors
Yeah.
I've read from and books. So anyway, so that totally derailed a lot of my reading, including International Booker. So because
Yeah.
that's more important to me right now than being able to say I read the Booker long list between long list and short list
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. I'm not doing that readathon. I think I don't I mean, I've seen people's posts about it, but I'm like, I'm already in my own thing right now.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard. I mean, I have there's so many different read-alongs or like readathons or themes or whatever that come up as you bounce around the bookish social medias, and it's really
Mhm.
hard. Sometimes you really want to do stuff and it can get so overwhelming, and sometimes you just have to. A lot of times I just don't participate in things because I get really overwhelmed by it. Um, but then sometimes I feel so strongly about something that I have to participate in it. So this was something that
Yeah.
I felt like I couldn't pass it up just because I know I'm going to be a little overwhelmed because I'm rejiggering everything like, you know,
Yeah.
last minute in my brain. But yeah.
I generally don't participate in read-alongs that I see across Bookstagram, mainly because I'm not good at them. That's number
Mhm.
1. And number 2, if I'm not in the mood for exactly what this read along is, like, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
do it because I don't have a desire because I don't like it. I don't force myself to read things that I don't want to read.
Yeah. Same.
You know what I mean? So like I really have to be like, oh yeah, I'm in that mood. I'm in that zone right now. So I'm totally jumping in. But I usually I'm not. And also again, I suck at read alongs with other people.
Mhm.
Look how my War and Peace has ended up. Trash. Absolute trash, Alyssa.
Trash.
Trash. Trash. I don't know what part they're on. I don't know what part I'm on. I don't know what the hell's going on. Absolute trash. Garbage. Hot damn garbage. I do better when I'm the one who has laid out the read along because I've committed myself to
Yeah.
it. But just to jump onto someone else's, I always think it's going to work out. Like I was so sure. I was so sure I was going to be in for this War and Peace read along. And I'm like, I cannot read a chapter every day. It's too short and I just don't like it. So that's gone to hell in a handbasket. That's
Yeah, no,
done.
I can't do
So,
that. I need like loosely structured readathons. So like
yeah.
when people give me you see them and they're like, we have like 8 prompts. You want to read a book with like a cat on the cover and you're gonna
Oh, no,
read the day. I can't do those.
okay. Hang on. Stop
I
right there.
can't do
Stop right
those.
there. I don't like those kind of challenges. I don't like prompts like that.
I don't like them.
I And I know it works for a lot of people, right? A
We
lot
are
of people
not
are
the
trying to
people.
read stuff off their shelves, but like
What do
When
you
I
mean?
see
People
those
read
kind of
the books that
challenge,
are on their shelves, not the books
I
from the
mean,
library?
this is what I hear. This is what I hear, that some people
Actually read the
look
books
to
that are
their
here?
shelves and read the books off their shelves. But when I see challenges where it's like, read a book that has a blue cover. Well, I just can't. I don't like that for me. I don't find that fun or enjoyable in any way. I don't like that.
That's
That's
why
just
I
too
like
random for me.
I like a more open if I'm gonna participate in something, it needs to be kind of more open ended, like women in translation. I will
Boom,
read women in translation for a month. I know that
boom.
like Trans Girl April has slightly more specific prompts than perhaps
Mhm.
I'm doing, but I can also just read stuff by trans authors, and that's
Right.
kind of what I'm doing. So, I-
Exactly.
and that's enough. Like, and I
Right.
can do that. You can tell me, January in Japan. I will read Japanese literature.
Yes.
I'm very
Yes.
psyched for that. But when you start
Yeah.
telling me, like, I don't know, read something with a crown on the cover ones really get me.
The cover ones annoy me, if I'm being honest. They really do.
Yeah,
But hey, we all do what works for us. Now, I don't mind when the prompts are optional, but if your whole thing is
is the
prompt
prompts.
based,
Yeah,
that's what I can't. I can't do
can't
it.
do it.
Or like, what's that other one that I really hate? Oh, the A through Z challenge. So basically, you're reading books.
Yeah,
Like if you're on B, then it's like you got to pick a book where the title starts with a B. Like this is not entertaining to me. I'm already annoyed.
I don't need to like gamify my reading, I guess is what it is. And
Oh, that's a perfect way
that's
to put it.
what it is. I don't need to do that to get
I
me
don't
to
need to
read.
do that. Okay, you just touched on something. You just touched on something. So here's the thing. I do not need motivation to read.
No.
I don't need that.
I need motivation to
So,
stop reading and do something.
hello. I I I am not one who struggles to pick up a book
Mm-mm,
and read. I've got that covered. So I don't, like you say, I don't need to gamify my reading to
mm-mm,
encourage me and entice me to read. I have no problem reading. That's not my issue.
mm-hmm.
That's not my issue at all. I also have no issue not reading, because you know what I'll do? I won't read for 3 days and I'll binge TV for 3 days straight.
No,
And I
I will
feel
not
perfectly
do
fine
that.
about it. Oh, I know, because you are an everyday reader.
Hmm.
You are an everyday
I
reader.
get
And
anxious
some
if I
days I don't
don't
want
read
to.
every day.
Oh, yeah, not me.
Yeah.
Did I
And
read
it's
yesterday? Oh, yeah, I did read
and
yesterday.
it's
But,
not because like of numbers or anything. It's just like I like having that time. So if I don't
mm-hmm.
get that time, I'm really anxious because it makes me
Mm-hmm.
like calmer to have read a little bit every day. Because
Right.
that's we've talked about this a bunch, so this is a little
Yeah.
repetitive for long-term listeners, but like I don't, yeah, I have like a reading goal that I just kind of like throw up on Storygraph just to like have a number. I don't freaking care. I don't even think I look at it. Like I think I'm beyond on track, but who cares? Whatever.
-1.
Whatever. I don't care. I really like my reading stats, but I like my
Mm-hmm.
reading stats because I like to see like what kinds of books do I read, like
I like
that
that
kind of
too.
stuff. The numbers are interesting because it's kind of like, oh wow, like I feel like March, I was like, why did I read so many books? Like, how did this happen?
Mm-hmm.
But then there's other months where you felt like I had so much time, and I'm like, wow, I really didn't read that many, huh? That's interesting. And it's just kind of like these are
Yeah.
things that are interesting to look at, like for personal
Yeah.
level, but it's not that's I don't care about numbers, but I do like to have like my 30 minutes a day where I read. That's important to
Yeah.
me. It's like a cup of coffee and 30 minutes of reading. If I don't have either of those things, I'm very upset.
Yeah. I'm good. I'm like, I haven't read today. I probably won't. I probably won't read today. I am in the mood for coffee, Cheez-Its, and Game of Thrones on TV. So
She's
that's
a
going
lady
to
with simple
be
needs.
very, very simple needs. And when I'm thinking about my weekend, like tomorrow, I may not read either, because I'm going to be knee deep in editing all of our podcasts
Yeah.
and scheduling them and writing the show. Like, I'm going to be busy in TBR, you know, production editing mode. So after that, I won't want to read, because my eyeballs are going to be hurting and I'll be tired. So probably Sunday, when everything's done, I can kind of chill out and like enjoy a book,
Yeah.
but it won't be tomorrow. and it's not happening today. And now some of you may be freaking out like, oh, I have to read. I mean, I'm fine.
You don't I mean, you
Fine.
don't have to do anything. I think that that's one of the
Yeah.
things that irritates me is that for some people they put pressure on themselves that doesn't need to exist.
Can we talk about that pressure? Where does that come from? I
I think it's something that people pick up from other people. I'll see it in wrap up video comments where people are like, "Oh my god, I thought I was having a great month. I read 7 books. You read 20." Like, who cares? We're not. I don't get like.
yeah.
I, I don't know. I don't get like a special thing.
Yeah, I want us in the book community to stop being so damn weird about stuff.
No, it's
Ha-
just this is
let's just
me.
read. Let's just read and enjoy what we're reading. Stop worrying about how many books you read a month. Stop worrying about if you didn't read today. Just like chill out and just read whatever you want, whenever you want. That's really all.
Mhm.
I'm so low key. Like, we need to chill out. Y'all are
Yeah,
stressing for nothing. These are just books. Just chill
but
out.
there's so many of them, and we'll never read them all before we die.
We won't. And I mean, I get in those moods where I feel so like hungry, and I
Mhm.
that's when I have like 8 books going because I just want to read everything.
Mhm.
But I don't. I still feel like my reading life in general is very low key because I really don't have any goals. It's like it's not mission based. It's not goal based. Like that's for work. I have enough of that going on over there. But for my reading, I just I read what I want when I want.
Yeah, it's always interesting to me when people are like, "Oh my god, I'm like 7 books behind." I was like, "Does it matter?"
I mean, but behind on what?
It doesn't matter. It's an arbitrary goal that you made. Nothing is going to happen if you
Yeah,
don't reach it.
yeah. Now, if you're
Now,
someone, yeah, go
I
ahead.
was gonna say, I say this as somebody who like naturally reads a buttload of books every year, so it maybe that's different. But
And we're going back
I
to
don't do other things like,
true. I
and
do
that
some other things,
yeah.
but like we said, maybe some people need the number goal to entice them to read. So
Yeah, I mean, if that's what you need,
maybe
that's what you
that's
need. But like, if you're not
yeah.
gonna reach it, it's not the end of the freaking world.
Yeah, that's why I just said we need to chill out a little bit. Like just chill. It's going to be okay. And I'm saying that because like I see these posts and I see these comments and you all are really stressing out. Just calm down, it's fine.
Mhm.
Listen, can
Mama
I talk
Naomi
about a new
says,
app?
"Calm down."
Calm down,
Oh,
it's fine.
oh, tell me about this app because I don't know what this
Okay,
is. I'm getting
listen.
my phone
All
out.
right.
Hold on.
Yeah, yeah, get your phone out,
The
right? All
lemonade
right.
stand? No, that's the person that yelled at me on the book outlet thing. What?
It's lemon and the number 8. All right? So I don't even know. Oh, in one of my little weird Google searches or whatever, um there was a tech article talking about Lemon 8, which was created by, what's that company? Bite Dance, Dance Bite, whatever, the ones that created TikTok, same people. But this is like a little different. It feels like this app, Lemon 8, feels like Instagram and Pinterest had a baby. And
I
it
don't
feels
like
like
Pinterest.
I I love Pinterest. I don't
I
go
feel
on as
like
much as
that's
I
like a
used to, but I
very
still like
not
it.
girl thing to say, but I don't like Pinterest.
I like it. I'll go on there at least a few times a year
I think
and
I've been
create
in there
boards.
a few times, period.
Yeah, I like it.
I've tried to like it. No, it's stupid to me. I don't understand the point of it.
I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm saying I like it a lot, and I don't go on there every day. Maybe I go on there a few times a year, but like I like it.
Like, what is the
Uh,
point of Pinterest though? You just make Pinterest. What do you do with them?
you make mood boards. You could do anything in there. You could buy stuff from there. Like the click to buy rate on Pinterest is pretty high. Anyway, that's a whole other conversation. So, when did I create
So
this
like, what
last
am
week?
I supposed to put as my? I'm doing this with you on the.
Oh,
What am I
okay.
supposed to do for my interests? Do I have interests? I don't have
Yes.
interest. I have interest in pets, and that's about like
Well,
it.
there you go. So I just created an account last week, and I've just been in there. You know how it is when there's a new app. You're like all in there. You're excited. You're getting to know people, and I'm just having a good time with it. But it's very low key. I feel like photos are the name of the game again on this app. So, we'll see where it goes.
I mean,
We'll see where it goes. I'm trying different things on here. I do think it's really fun. So like you can, when you create an app, when you create a post here, there's like all these fun little design tools you can use, not a lot but some, so you can like spice up your photos, and I think that's a good time, and it's different, and you can get creative, and I'm just trying out all the features and all the tools that are within this app. So I've been in here. Yeah, I'm pretty addicted right now. I'm not even gonna lie about it. I'm pretty addicted.
all right. So,
Yeah.
so first of all, what is your name? Because I'm on here now. Are you Book
You
Lady?
know what my name is on here. It's the same everywhere.
All
It's
right.
the same everywhere.
I shall follow you and see
So
what
are
you have 100
listeners,
followers already?
I told you I'm obsessed. I've been on here. I'm obsessed. But
Girl, what do I
but
do with
listen, this
this?
oh, there you are. Follow back.
I got one follower.
That's me. That's me. So you can follow hashtags on here, which is fun.
Are there bookish
Um
hashtags?
Hell yes, there are. Book Lemon 8, Books of Lemon 8, Books of Lemon. Yes. Yes. Just look at one of my posts of the hashtags.
Okay,
You
Books of
know?
Lemon 8. Or how do I follow this? I go over here. Like, I'm sorry, this is the least entertaining podcast episode of me just standing here going, "Oh my god, what's happening?"
It's so fun. So anyway, are any of our listeners, are you all on Lemon 8? Let us know. Or
Because we're
actually just
there
go to Lemon 8
now.
and follow us.
We're there
Follow us. We
now.
Nerdy Nurse reads, Book Lady reads everywhere. But I've been into it. And okay, let me tell you the real interesting thing that just really keeps throwing me off about this app, Lemon 8.
Mhm.
I see so many content creators of color. It's so many, in fact, I keep thinking I'm in the wrong place. Like I don't know
Yeah.
how to take it. I don't I'm serious. I'm
I'm
so
sorry, that's
used
so
to
wrong that I just laughed at that, but it's so
It's true. I'm so used to having to dig to find creators of
that's
color
fantastic
that
though.
right, but like I'm so in the habit of having to like dig so deep to find, black women, especially black women on these apps. The fact that when I just open this app randomly and they're there on my face, I'm like, whoa, did someone make a mistake? I mean, it's so trippy because that's not naturally how these apps operate.
No,
It's
it's
so
not.
hard for black creators, in particular black women, to get any kind of push from the algorithm. It's just like it's mind blowing that I just go to limit and there they are. There they are. A lot of them.
Sorry.
So,
I was annoyed. I'm good now.
it's wonderful. So I'm just having a good time with it. I'm having a really, really good time with it. And again, you might want to follow the hashtag gamer girl setup. That is those photos are hella soothing. Very soothing. So
Talkers,
anyway,
we're
if
gonna post
anyone's on
something.
Lemon 8, let us know and just come on there and follow us because we're giving it a go. I've only been on there a week. I'm still trying stuff out, but yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, we're gonna do like a little photo dump. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let's photo dump some things. How's that?
It's a good time.
Okay. So
Cause
no, you need to. How do I do this? How do I do this?
did you click
Oh,
that
oh,
plus? Are
oh,
you
oh, oh, oh. Okay.
did you okay.
I'm figuring it out. Okay.
Yeah, and make sure when you select the photo and then go to next, fool around with some of those tools, the stickers, the text, all that stuff, because you can play around and like add some creativity to your photos. But so here's why I'm bringing Lemon 8 up, especially for us bookish people, because there's been so much frustration with book creators, bookstagrammers who are on Instagram and have been so frustrated with the algorithm. And I know, like, really over the last year, a lot of bookstagrammers have really stopped using Instagram as heavily as they were, and they've moved over more so to TikTok. But now, with the threat of TikTok potentially being banned, everyone's like, okay, well, where do we go next? Oh, there's Lemonade. Well, we're going there next. I mean, it's still, based out of China, but this is where we are. So it's I think it's been a very frustrating social media journey for bookish content creators because Instagram has made things so unnecessarily difficult over there for you
Oh
to
yeah.
even be seen if you're not following their like weekly roundup of, oh no, I know I said do this last week, but ha ha ha, here's the new rules. I mean, it's very frustrating to kind of like keep up with all this stuff. And I feel like people are really burned out and tired of Instagram, you
Yeah,
know?
it's not everyone's favorite at this point.
Yeah.
Um,
So, like, I don't know where we're going with Lemon 8, but I'm on there and I'm having a good time. And it feels very chill, very low key, which I like. It doesn't, because I got to tell you also, like, I get very irritated seeing a freaking reel from Adam Ozeri every week telling me what I need to do now.
oh
It's
my
like,
god,
I need you all to stop trying to be TikTok.
I
Just
know.
be
Ow!
Instagram.
I'm kicking books. Hold on.
So let us know your thoughts. Are you a bookstagrammer? And if so, have you moved over to TikTok? Or are you still hardcore bookstagramming? Or are you like dividing your time equally creating content on Bookstagram and BookTok? Let us know because I'd be very curious to see like what your strategy has been to deal with all the weekly, what seems like weekly changes over there on the Instagram app.
I feel like, and correct us if we're wrong, but I feel like a lot of people that have moved over to TikTok don't really Instagram that much.
Yeah, I feel like a lot have just completely left Instagram behind
Yeah.
because there's still you can still grow so much and so quickly on TikTok.
Yeah, you
Now,
can grow a following fairly, easily, um,
yeah,
considering um, considering how difficult it is in other places. I mean, BookTube is kind of like if you hit it, you hit it. If you don't hit it, you're going to be slogging for a while and you have to put the work
right.
in. Instagram used to be like you could just interact with everybody in the beginning. We all just talk to each other, and that really
I
did grow your
know.
audience. And now nothing helps you. And
Exactly.
they've even pulled monetization off Reels. So it's like, why?
That didn't last long
Why
at all, did it?
why do I
Oh my
even why am
gosh.
I even gonna like engage with your stuff? Like I'm not making
Right.
content here for that.
Right.
So it's an interesting landscape, and you're right. I'd love to know what everybody's thinking. Uh, you know,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, it's a wild bookish social media ride, that's for sure. But right now, I'm having fun on Lemon 8. I'm having fun. I
uh,
like the chillness of it all. And I love how everyone is having all these nice conversations because I really miss that about Instagram, just connecting with people. So it's been nice over here. It's been really nice. I keep forgetting that I have Bookstagram because I've been on here so much. And I'm trying different pieces of content out. I've got some things I want to try to see how they do and I'm just it's just fun. It's fun.
well, I'm
So,
gonna play around with this.
yeah. I've already like some
So
of the features are the same. Like they don't have stories. There's none of that going on
for now,
for now. So, but I do think being able to create a post and add little creative details to it, I think that's a game changer. I think that's really fun, So, I'm excited about that.
well, I'm
So,
playing with
yeah.
this
Oh, I
now.
just found somebody who has my name. Her name's Naomi. Hello.
Is she a reader?
She is my charmed cottage. I love it. So, yeah. Let us know what you're doing, guys. It's all interesting. So yeah, I just wanted to share that because I was like, I wonder
Sorry,
if
this is
anybody
your fault because now I'm playing with this.
I'm sorry, and and earlier this week, I think it was right after I started my account, I created because in our Discord, um, I have these channels set up for us for each of the social where you can put in your handle so that we can follow each other. And I added the one for Lemon, and someone was like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Well, let me tell you,
Yeah, and I was like, what are you talking about?
it's this new place." So yeah, but
I'm almost done putting in. I'm almost
yeah,
done putting
play
in
around with it and like take time
hashtags.
to like get through there and meet some people. It's just really fun. But like all these apps are fun when we first get on there. it's always like, okay, count down to when it goes to complete crap and things get all
Yeah.
weird and the app founders start, getting crazy with the algorithm demanding we do all these impossible things to even, make a mark on there to get a modicum of any kind of attention. So I'm hoping it stays chill for a while. That's what I'm hoping.
Oh, you know what
Can
I
we keep
like
it
is that
normal
you
over
can put a
here?
return in your thing. That's exciting.
Yeah, so can we just keep it nice? Can I share this with you? I'm gonna share this with you. Oh, I
All
know I
right,
can share it.
I made a post. It's going up. Not only will
Yay!
you find me, friends, I will have a post.
I like it. Oh, and you know what else is cool? How you can do headlines for your post.
Yeah.
That's I like that. It's like a kind of blog stylish a little bit to like have an
Yeah.
actual headline. So I like how they're incorporating other pieces from like different kinds of mediums to kind of create this whole lemon platform. I like that. So watch your back, Instagram. Watch your back because people on the lemon are loving it.
Okay, hold on. Lemon 8. They have an Instagram? They don't. They do. Okay. Come follow me. Okay.
Can you tag people in this? I don't know how that works. I'm gonna try it.
All right. Okay. I have a post, my friends. It is up there now. Come find me, my friends. Anyway, all
Yeah.
right. So now we have new obsessions. Okay. So
Yeah.
stop gamifying your reading if you don't need it and relax. If you need it, you need it.
Relax.
But relax. It's cool. You don't make the goal. You made the goal. It don't matter. Nothing's happening. Okay?
Yeah.
Um come find us in Lemonade.
Yeah. Book lady reads.
Retranslated
Lady
lit.
nurse reads. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Retranslated lit.
Yes. Read it. Read it.
I'm sorry that I basically left you to talk about half the podcast because you were like, get on Lemonade. And I was like, okay.
I I had to share it with you and the people because the people may not know about it. I don't even know how new it is exactly, but I had to let you and the people know.
Yeah.
Especially if you've really been having a frustrating time on Instagram and you also have no desire to be on Book Talk because that's a whole group too,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a whole group because for those who are on Bookstagram and they really hate the Reels aspect and how hard Instagram is pushing Reels, those people do not want to go on Book Talk, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
well, heck, where do I go? Come on over to Eliminate and see what's going on. Maybe you're like that. Maybe you're
Yeah.
like
And
that.
it's so like I don't like short form content. And this is one of those things that um really I think divides people who make video content is
Oh
you either
yes.
enjoy short form content or you don't. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't like short form content. I don't think that I'm good at like I don't know, like little quick pithy things. And I hate
Right. Yeah.
copying the same trend over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. So
Absolutely.
like that
Yeah.
is one of the bigger ways to start to get a following so that then you can go
Mhm.
viral is to jump on trends. I don't
Yeah.
have that in me to do. Um I just like operating in my little old lady lane and talking
Yeah.
about what I want to talk about. And the
Yeah.
most creative thing I've got is Lipbro. Okay. Lipbro is
Mhm.
my creative outlet, my
Yeah.
weird little alter ego who reads Rowie Lit. Okay.
Mhm.
And hopefully actually makes other people want to read it. There is an idea, it's kind of tongue in cheek and teasing
Yeah.
like Lit Bros, but it's also like this literature is really for everybody. Like you're not superior to anybody because you read
Exactly.
Thomas Pynchon. No. Like there's
Exactly. Get over
honestly, the only
yourself.
superiority you have is that you actually got through it all and you should get
Yeah.
like a glass of wine at the end. But like
Bling.
cheers, you made
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
But like I'm not here to like I don't know, I don't want to dance. I don't want
It's
to
hard. Yeah.
you don't want me to dance. I can't lip sync very well. It's difficult for me.
Yeah.
I have fun occasionally with short form,
Yeah.
but I prefer long form.
Yeah.
Somebody
I
else might
like
not like long form.
I like watching the TikToks, not the book talks. I just think those are boring for the most part, but TikTok as a whole I enjoy.
Yeah,
But YouTube is still my jam. I watch YouTube like I watch regular TV.
same.
You know, I most of the creators that I follow, and that like when they put out a video, like I'm there for it, like within a day or two. It's long. Like I like it when it's at least 45 minutes. I love long form video on any of the topics that I'm interested in. Food, home decor, books, travel. The longer the frickin' better. I'm into that. A long form is my jam.
Yeah.
So that's still my preferred way to consume is watching long form videos. And I gotta tell you, YouTube is still like the king and queen. That's still where you can earn the most money if you're a content creator, and it's still the one that's like, leading the train.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you can't really mess with YouTube. I mean, YouTube
You can't.
is, if you can get successful on YouTube and you can
Mhm.
remain successful on YouTube, you
Yeah.
will do well. Um
Yes.
and that's really it. Um
That's it. Yeah. Even though they've incorporated shorts and all that, it's a good way to like grow, your audience base. There, I just watched a video yesterday because YouTube is changing their algorithm.
mhm.
Um, I'm gonna send that to you as well. But
Again, okay, yeah. Sorry. The
oh, this is
again
the
was
yeah, but it was an interesting video, and they a lot of people were asking the question as it relates to shorts, especially. They were
mhm.
asking the question, do subscribers even matter, or is it just all about the views? So like very interesting conversations are happening over there, but YouTube is still the big player, no matter what,
I
no
mean,
matter what.
I will say the really interesting thing about BookTube now with shorts and what I can see going on is that now the shorts, I feel like they bring you views in terms of numbers, but obviously not of like watch time.
Mhm.
Unless you have like hundreds of thousands on a video. Um,
Right.
but what they do, I feel like, is they bring people to the channel.
Mhm.
So because I don't my shorts feed is bonkers the way the
Mhm.
algorithm is sending me stuff. I'm like, I don't think you know who I am. But anyway, I don't spend a lot of time in there.
Right.
So but
Yeah.
you will find people through that. And I find that when I do post a short,
Mhm.
I get a bigger bump in followers than when I post a long form video. The long
Right.
form videos seem to just go to the same people over and over again, and maybe
Right.
you get a couple new people who look at your stuff. But so if you really want to get like a good blast into like new faces,
Mhm.
it's shorts.
It's the
Shorts are
shorts.
that's what they're putting in front of people's
Yep.
pie holes for you to consume.
Yep.
So hmm
Yep. Well, before we get into book recommendations, can we talk a bit about if we have, because I have one. Or I have a couple. If you have any personal reading projects.
me personal reading projects in terms of what,
Mhm.
like things I'm trying to accomplish.
Yeah, so for instance, like I think I put in our Discord that I saw that Zadie Smith has a new novel coming out this fall, and I was like, I don't know if I should be excited or not because I haven't read her, although I own some of her novels. And so I would like to read all of her novels before this new one comes out because I mean she's been on my shows for a while, right? And
Mhm.
I was like, oh, I'm gonna just create me a little Zadie Smith project. So I'm gonna be reading Zadie Smith. I only have one other novel of hers that I need to order, and that's Northwest. And
Mhm.
then I will have all the novels. So that's gonna be like a little fun little summer project to do before her latest novel comes out in the fall.
Okay.
Do you have any special little personal projects?
Surviving. Um, outside of things that I have on deck for Lit Bro, because that's actually probably the only thing that has got any sort of structure to it is Lit Bro.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because he reads things like this, so it needs structure.
Yes.
Um, really, I'm trying and failing at
Uh-oh.
reading the mysteries that live down at the bottom of my bookshelves. Okay. I'm really bad at reading my mysteries that my mother gives me about 40 of every time I see her. So
Mm.
it's bad. It's down there. And then the
Yeah.
other thing is finishing to catalog the books so
Mm-hmm.
that I have an accurate idea of how many books
Ooh.
I actually own. I'm really good. I
Yeah.
have all the fiction books behind me and I have the fantasy books down and I'm good at like taking them in and out, like taking them off the spreadsheet when I sell them on
Right.
Tango, and like those books are really well accounted for. Because I'm very curious to see what my read percentage is. And when I look at my
Yeah.
shelves, it honestly looks like I keep a lot of books I've never read,
Yeah.
and I'm really much bigger on hauling books I've read, which is interesting. So the books
Oh,
that
that
I
is interesting.
keep that I've read are like special. Like they are
Yeah.
um they're books I really want to own. And then
Yeah.
a lot of my shelves are books I want to read,
Mhm.
and they may stay, they might not. Like they're not that precious to me. The ones that are
Yeah.
precious are very precious. Um
Right.
Otherwise they're not. Like,
Yeah.
and those are usually books like uh like Rebecca, which I have like 8 copies of in various
Mhm.
different forms. uh those are the books that I really keep, are the ones that I've absolutely loved.
Right.
And I know I'm going to read them over and over and over again. And then
For
there's other
sure.
ones that I might, and they stay for a bit, but then when I've kind of decided, no, I get rid of them.
Yeah.
So I think I hover around like 35% from what I have
Okay.
now of what I've read. But things go in and out so much. Like if you
I
actually,
know.
I haul on, we both on haul and haul so
A
much that
lot.
it's constantly in flux.
It
Um,
is.
so
It is.
so it's not like a stagnant 35%.
Yeah.
It's things are always moving. I don't know if that's better or worse, but yeah. So I do
Yeah.
need to get better at reading some of these mysteries. I had the goal of reading one every
Do
month
you
and
really
then
want to read them
fail.
though?
A lot of them I do eventually, but
Okay.
I'm just
Okay.
rarely ever in the mood. So you know what it is? It's like I need to go on
Right.
vacation.
Okay.
I
Uh-huh.
need to go somewhere and just sit and read.
Yeah.
Not be like, I don't know, something about like I don't know if other people do this also, but like you read differently when you're home and you read it than like when you're like traveling. Like I
Mhm.
don't want to read. I don't want to read this while I'm traveling.
Oh
I
yeah.
want to read like
Exactly.
lighter, more easy to get through things, and I'll take like
Yeah.
a little stack of books with me. Um, I have been focusing a lot more this year on my Kindle and trying to read from my Kindle because I really want a Kindle Scribe, and I can't justify spending like $400 on a Kindle Scribe unless I'm focusing on reading for my Kindle. And I have so many things
Okay.
on there, and I'm rediscovering how much I do enjoy reading from that. So like I
Why? Because it's
am,
lightweight.
yeah, so like I am reading a Day of Fallen Night. I'm listening to it
Mhm.
and reading along, but I'm not reading along from the hardback because it's so big.
Okay.
I'm reading from an ebook that I have. And
Okay.
so it's there's things like that. Like I don't think I have any like specific outside of the mystery thing that I've already failed.
Yeah.
Um
Well, you didn't fail it. It's still ongoing. There's no end date, right?
no,
Yeah.
it's
It's,
just
it's still going.
I need to get through more of them. And I do want to read them. That's the biggest problem. Is like I do want to read them. I just don't.
Yeah.
There's too many things and not enough time.
That's true. That's true. I guess the other thing that I have going on that I'm having fun with also is and thank goodness I'm in this mood now. Like I think I'm always in a sci-fi mood. I'm not always in a fantasy mood, but I have been in a fantasy mood, right? And so getting through the existing like finishing fantasy series that I've started,
Mhm.
and some of the sci-fi ones too, so I can read the some of the newer ones that I've purchased. And I'm really trying to get through a lot of my fantasy ones because 2024 is going to be like the year of Malazan, and that's a big
Yeah.
series. And I don't think it's going to be good for me to have a lot of competing fantasy series that are in depth like that while reading Malazan. That's what I'm trying to do. Clear those other ones out so that I have like the mental space for Malazan. So that's the goal. I think I'm doing pretty well.
I do want to read more fantasy in general, but I feel like lit fic is always outpacing fantasy.
Of course it
I
is.
would like, yeah, it's your fault. And then I would like,
Folks, did you hear that? She said it's my fault. Ooh.
oh, you know what? Okay, so I do have one for you, and it is
Okay.
maintaining my reading spreadsheet.
Oh
So
crap. I'm so. effed up on that already.
I have been very good, and I have to because I read so much. I have to do it like almost weekly. I have to sit down and transfer over anything that's like any updates I have to make to the
Yeah.
tracker from like Storygraph or Bookly or whatever. Um, and it's going well. We've made it 3 months. I think that
Yeah.
that's doing fairly well. And what I'm
It
hoping
is.
is, so I have the hardback orders per her spreadsheet, which is,
Mhm.
I'm very happy to see that she's finally charging people for this, because she makes a new one every year and it kind of gets like tweaked and stuff. But
Mhm.
she hadn't in the past been charging people, and I thought that that was such a, she puts in so much work, and
Yeah.
it was very kind of her to not do that, and I'm so glad that she's finally charging for it, because she really was not, she was not,
Yeah.
you know, she should have been paid for her time. So and it's not terribly expensive. I think it was like $5 or $6, but so I have this one as something to start with. And what I'm hoping
Mhm.
is that I can possibly grow this from here if I can figure out how to make an enormous spreadsheet like this, again in my life, um, for next year and going forward.
Mhm.
So this is where I'm starting,
Okay.
and hopefully I'm good at it and I do it, and it's, it
Yeah.
works. That's the goal. Um, and there's
Yeah.
things I don't know if I really need in this particular spreadsheet, and just trying to figure out like what do I want. But once you have data in, like I have a whole year of reading stats, then that's when you can
Mhm.
really build out something interesting and see how, if you're a nerdy weirdo like me, to see how your
Yeah.
reading changes, and how, what kinds of books you read change, and all that. And that's why I like Storygraph. Not
Mhm.
only is it not
Mhm.
offensive to my eyeballs like Goodreads, I like the stats. I don't need the social aspect. I don't
Yeah.
need any of the other parts of Goodreads. I just want to have a place for my reading and see how my reading changes throughout the year. I think that that's important
Right.
for me,
Right.
because I
Yeah.
personally care about that. That's really it. Like, I don't want to see what I read compared to you. I mean, that could
Right.
maybe be interesting for you and I to look at something if we both kept the same spreadsheet, maybe to be like, oh, we know you read,
Yeah.
this much more percentage wise of lit fic or whatever. I think
Right.
those percentages are more interesting to me. Like, how does your reading look than like how much
Yeah.
do you read?
I have the spreadsheet from the currently
Book
reading
Riot?
people. Currently reading. Um but I think I stopped updating it late February, so I need to get back to that.
Yeah.
And I've already have notes on, okay, I don't need this part or that part, but I
Hmm.
would like this part. So,
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. And there's things like, how granular do you get with how you track things? And then things get
mhm.
like interesting. Like, I have a very general, I added it into the side on like female presenting and male presenting. And like, that's such a
Mhm.
hard thing to, like, unless you,
Right.
unless I can like clearly, and it's really just like a rough percentage for myself to be like, do I read a lot of white men?
Mhm.
That's basically what I want to know.
Right.
And I don't. I have like a general percentage, and it's not supposed to be some. I think sometimes you can get wrapped up in all of these, like, how are you categorizing based
Yeah.
on like the authors themselves? And I've seen a lot of spreadsheets that go like and get really granular with like what kind of diversity and this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, this is too much. Like,
Yeah.
it's too much for me. Like, is it diverse? Is it queer? That's really all I want to know. And then I just keep this
Right.
little running percentage on the side for me, just to like see, because I'm curious, like how many
Right.
possibly female authors do I read? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's such a tricky thing. And it's not. It's just a little personal stat for myself.
Yeah.
But
I'm
more.
also interested in with the spreadsheet of like seeing like what kind of authors I'm really gravitating towards and how many of their like I like to see that kind of information too. And also you know what countries I'm reading from, that's important
Hmm.
to me.
I'd
So
like to
you know
get
that
that in. I
yeah, they're
would
little
like to
things.
add that, and I added. Um, I added a category just generally for translated. in the genre. So there's like genre and subgenre, and I've made, not that translated is a
Mhm.
subgenre, but I added it just so that there is a thing that's
Yeah.
being picked up. If I wanted to use that piece of data later. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so really, this is just me trying to start something so that I can
Yep.
possibly reconfigure this if I could get my brain to
Same.
remember how to do Excel. And to make this worse, actually, Google Sheets and regular Excel have different formulas and
Formulas,
keystrokes.
they do. Mhm.
Hmm.
But I'm used to using Google Sheets, so but
Yeah, would have to, one, remember everything I used to know about doing regular Excel, and two, then relearn it. So basically, I would just have
yeah.
to relearn how to make this, or maybe just commission somebody to make the thing that I want.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So I think that once I get some of my packing out of the way, I probably will like set aside some time to update my spreadsheet because we won't have any recording dates, I'll
mhm.
be well into my packing and I'll have a little bit more time. So anyway, let's recommend some books.
Oh yes,
Or yeah, two.
two, one for
Nothing's
me.
changed. I
Stuffing.
just got excited like I'm getting ready to recommend 1,000.
You're always getting ready to recommend 1,000.
Oh my goodness. All right.
So I have a book for you.
Yes.
I don't know if you know this because it seems to be not as discussed as some other things that came out. And I think it's because it's not from
Mm,
like a giant publisher. Did you know that
yeah.
Paris Hilton has a memoir out? And do you know that it's phenomenal?
I was wondering why I kept seeing her on TV. I was like, what is she pushing?
So
It's that.
she has a memoir out, and it is
So good.
so good. So, and not in like a juicy gossip way, in a like,
Mm-hmm.
this woman had a life of trauma
Yes.
that I don't think, while we were all watching her on television, we were in any way, shape, or form aware of just how
Yeah.
traumatized she was. So she went to one of those lovely little like boarding schools where
Mm-hmm.
they, torture you so that,
Mm-hmm.
because you're like, I don't know what do they call them? They're like the schools where they send the bad kids.
Yeah, they're like
Um,
reform
Reform
schools.
schools, yeah.
Yeah.
And she went to one which is an offshoot of Synanon, which is a
Mm-hmm.
cult, and it was horrendous and so hard to read uh, about her experience, and
Mm-hmm.
to
She's talked about it. It's sad.
she's gone in front of Congress and stuff. She's been
Yes.
doing a lot of work to get these
I'm
things shut
glad.
down. Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. And I'm shocked that she ever forgave her parents, because like I don't think I would have.
Oof. That's rough, right?
And I
That's
get that,
rough.
like, I don't think her parents understood exactly what they were sending her to, but the fact that you agreed to have your child kidnapped and brought there should have
Yeah.
been a huge red flag. And that is
Yeah.
where I have issues with all of the any of these programs where they literally send people in the middle of the night and like kidnap your
Mm-hmm.
child to like scare
Mm-hmm.
them. No.
Yeah.
No. You
Right.
no. And the fact that there's things like the way that they're manipulated, I mean, I feel like there should have been more red flags up
Yeah.
front. I know that they showed the parents, like, they showed you something really nice, and then what was
Of
really
course.
happening was happening, like, behind closed doors. But, like,
Yes.
you were saying, like, "I'm signing this over and I can do anything to this child." How can you sign that over? How?
Yeah. Because on some level, I believe on some levels it's just so easier to like wash that problem, meaning your quote unquote troublesome child, away. You don't want to deal with it. Let somebody else deal with it.
But, like, now I feel like I felt bad as a as a reader, because I remember seeing her in jail and those pictures of her crying and us being like, "Oh, shut up, poor rich girl." And you
Mm-hmm.
realize now the context of all of that was that she was
Right.
actually in PTSD from being
Mm-hmm.
traumatized as a
Yeah.
teenager. Like a
Mm-hmm.
teenager, like 16 years old teenager.
Mm-hmm.
So it was phenomenal. I feel like everybody needs to read this. If you Okay,
I will definitely listen to that. That sounds
it's on Scribd.
like it's going to be really interesting.
It's really interesting. Also, her husband sounds like the main character of like every billionaire
Oh,
romance
really?
ever.
Oh,
And
that's so
I'm
cute.
like, I want one. Why isn't there some billionaire man that's just gonna like smoochy moochy me
Yeah.
on Thanksgiving and then sorry, Jesus, and then I'll be a billionaire.
Well, there you have it. There
Because
you
that's
Yeah,
how life works.
I'll I'll see if I can get that audiobook and
It's
and take a listen.
there's so much other stuff that came out. Like, do you recall that the people who or the person who put out her sex tape
Mhm.
dedicated it to the people of 9/11?
Oh, no, I don't remember that.
Yeah, that went right over my head at the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a effing a-hole.
Yeah. How? Like, what does that have to do with 9/11?
What is it? Nothing. Yeah,
So
people are
yeah,
crazy, man.
yeah, it is a trip. It is. I mean, I didn't really care either way about Paris Hilton, but suddenly I kind of like
I
her.
mean, it's
I,
a interesting life that she's lived,
yeah,
right? And also I think when people, lift the veil, from their lives and let you see what's really been going on, let you see who they really are, it's fascinating.
yeah, and I think that
Just like, wow,
like
I had that peg wrong the whole time. I was wrong.
yeah, and she is a little like poor little rich girl at times, and there's
Mhm.
times where you could feel that way, and there's times where she is a little out of touch, which you expect from somebody that is
Mhm.
that wealthy. Um, but also she is remarkably aware at the same time
Mhm.
of how much privilege she has, but she also, I didn't realize she like never graduated from high school,
Wow.
unless you count this program as high school. I don't think she has a GED. If
Do
she
you need it
does,
when you're
she
that
got it
wealthy?
later. No,
What
but
Yeah,
I think like there were if
I'm just
when you
wondering how
read
her
it,
parents let that ride, but whatever.
I think they were just trying to like honestly, I think they care so much more about the brand than they do about anything else. And so
Well, the brand generates the
and
wealth.
the brand is it, and all the other children conformed to the brand, and
Yeah.
they got her they sent her away for like a couple of years, and
Yeah.
she came back with a determination to basically never need anybody, and she's created that. Like she doesn't
She has a lot
obviously
of businesses.
obviously she uses the privilege that she has and is she's not saying she didn't. She's not like I'm self-made in any way. But she's not
Yeah.
Kylie Jenner saying she's self-made billionaire. But like
Right.
she's
Right.
she's determined to like she was determined to create all of her own revenue streams so that
Mhm.
she didn't need to need anybody, and she
Right.
doesn't. She makes a buttload of money just off of
Mhm.
her endeavors.
Mhm.
I mean, it
Yep.
helps that she's a rich girl with a name and all of that, but
Well, sure, of course. I mean, all the doors open, but
mhm,
she could have just sat on her laurels and just, taken in the family money.
mhm.
It doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that,
I mean, she works.
yeah,
She
she's got
works,
her own shit going on,
so
and she doesn't have to have anything else going on
mm-mm.
that is created by her. She doesn't have to.
And allegedly,
Um,
she's a really good DJ.
oh, I heard she's a phenomenal DJ.
Allegedly,
That's
like I
been,
don't care about DJing, so even if I heard her, I couldn't give you
yeah,
any opinion on it. But allegedly, she's a
yeah,
really good DJ.
yeah, yeah. So it's all very interesting. Very interesting.
Very.
Hmm. Well,
Well, what do you got?
I'm going to recommend Lone Woman by Victor Laval.
Oh, you finished it.
I did. I did. A woman with a past, a mysterious trunk, a town on the edge of nowhere, an embracing new vision of the American West. This is very much like horror. It's very much historical fiction and very much like a Western. And I really enjoyed it. I really like Victor. Adelaide was a great character. I mean, I tell you what, this whole time I was like, what the hell is in this damn trunk? I I was like, what is in Victor? Let me know. And woo, when that was revealed, I was not prepared. And it's very monstrous. And I'm not gonna say much about it because there's too much to reveal in here, but just know this is it's just a very horrific read.
Mhm.
with Western feels, and I was digging it. I was completely digging it. Victor Laval, you you are the one, sweetheart. You are the one. So I think this makes my third Laval book. I read The Ballad of Black Tom a few years ago.
Same.
I read The Changeling either at the end of last year or earlier this year. I can't remember. And now Lone
End of
Woman. And
last
I
year, I
do
think you did.
intend on reading the rest of his works that he's already have published. But go ahead and pick up Lone Women. It's very, very good. I don't know. I might read that one again one day. Just like throw on the audiobook or something. I liked it.
I need to read
It was a good
Changeling.
time. Yeah, Changeling was good. I liked the first part more than the latter part, but I
Mhm.
still liked it. I still liked it. So yeah, that's what I'm recommending. Anyway, I gotta get my Cheez-Its. And I've decided that I'm not gonna make coffee. I'm gonna go to Starbucks and get coffee because I would like a nice little drive to the Starbucks. You know, a nice little 15-minute drive.
I would like you to know that I've already had Starbucks today,
Oh,
and
okay.
um,
I've just had my homemade coffee.
and you know that that's strange because I like never go get coffee. So
Right. But I figure like I don't want to make a whole pot now. I just don't feel like it actually. I'm just gonna go grab a cinnamon dolce latte, extra hot. And yeah, come back with my Cheez Its and continue watching Game of Thrones. Yes, I am reading the series and watching Game of Thrones for like the ninth time.
and just
I
remember,
can't help it.
I have to start book 3.
Hang on a minute. Do you want to start it? Do you want to start it in May?
Oh my god, could we?
Yes, and let me tell
Because if
you
I put
why.
one more giant book on my pile, I'm
Scratch it.
going to
Put it to
fall.
May.
I'm gonna
Let me tell
hurt.
you why. I want to read A Clash of Kings for a second time because it
Okay.
was just that good. So we will start book 3 in May. That's perfectly fine. That works out great for me, actually.
Okay. Because I got to finish Lord of the
Yes.
Rings. I've got
Yes.
a lot of really big books going. I've got all the books for
Yes.
Trans Girl April. Got a new
Mm-hmm.
job.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So yes, that's perfectly fine.
Okay,
Because
good.
I don't know. I'm in this thing now, and I don't know if this is gonna how it's gonna be for the whole series. But I read a Game of Thrones twice, and I'm getting ready to read a Clash of Kings twice. But I can't stop thinking about that damn book. I'm having a good time with it. So
I'm glad you're
anyway,
having a good time. I'm glad that you found fantasy and are having a good time.
as we talked about on one of these other episodes, I really intended to read a lot of my fantasy last year, and I did not read as much as I wanted to. But like this year, I am in the mood for it. I am in the serious mood for it. So here we are.
Here we
Here we
are.
are. All right, that's going to do it for us. TBRLowdown.com to learn everything about us. Oh, subscribe to our Substack newsletter, join our Patreon, join our Discord. All the links are there. Follow us everywhere at TBR Lowdown.
And
We're
lemonade.
wrapping it up. And lemonade. Yay! That's going to do it for us. We are tired and I need a snack. We're out of here. Bye.
Bye.